welcome back to Movies for Authors. This is Mooney. I'm here for episode 8. Today we're going over Interstellar. That's right. If you haven't heard of this movie, I mean, everybody's probably heard of this movie. It had great press, had great reviews, and I hadn't really even seen it yet until a couple days ago. I decided to rent it from Redbox, so that is where you can still get it for a while until it comes on something else, but it was still at Redbox for a while. So, Interstellar. It is a Christopher Nolan movie, which if you know anything about Christopher Nolan, you're talking, the Batman movies, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and all that stuff. And so it's written and kind of, directed by him. Of course, Inception is a phenomenal movie as well. I think Inception is probably a little better than this movie, actually, just personally as a review. But I still liked Interstellar a lot. Matthew McConaughey, and there's some other actors and actresses in this movie that are they do a really good job. And so it's well directed, it's well acted, it's just a well put together movie. And the whole kind of idea of the movie, if you don't know, is just sometime in the future, and the environment has gotten really kind of wacky, because, that's never been done in a movie before. We've screwed up the environment. And so we've screwed up the environment. And so what's going to happen? How do we kind of fix this? And society has kind of got to this point where we're just trying to survive. And so, people just become farmers, education, pioneering, that sort of thing, new technology. It's not really encouraged. It's really just everybody's really focused on making food so we can kind of all eat. And yet it's just continuing to get worse. The planet's dying. So our hero, Cooper, Matthew McConaughey's character, kind of gets into this situation where he used to be a test fighter pilot, and now they need him again to fly this mission out through a wormhole to find a new home for the Earth, for humanity, since our world is dying. And so that's kind of the story. And it's a great little film, and I say little because it's like 3 hours. It's a great film. And here's the quote. So I'm going to give you the quote of the movie. The quote of the movie is, "We used to look up at the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt." And so this really kind of connects with a lot of people in our country, especially in America, because, the space race and just how proud we were of getting to the moon and all that kind of stuff. And really, our culture really has kind of devolved into this, let's just survive, let's just take care of each other. It's really not about it. This sort of a little more of an isolationist attitude, for good or bad. But I would assume it would kind of connect with people. And so what can we as authors kind of learn from this movie? Well, I haven't mentioned it yet, but the central relationship in this movie is between Cooper and his daughter and his children, but especially his daughter that he calls Murphy. And so they have a really close relationship. She's, 10 or 11 years old, and then he's got to leave her to try to save everybody, right? Save humanity. She doesn't really understand that at 10 or 11, why he can't stay. There's all these other kind of things that happen, but that's kind of the central relationship of the whole movie. And what I want to get to for authors is, don't be afraid of a really simple and yet powerful motivation for the story and for your character, right? I mean, they could have easily written this story in such a way where, he's just a dude and he wants to go save the world. But because he has children, that really forces him into this decision. It really forces him into this decision to go and try to save everybody, and gives him motivation to try to go above and beyond who he is and where he is, and to leave people he loves and all that kind of stuff. And so I really kind of want to point that out, because sometimes, as writers, we want to put our characters into certain situations and give them the motivation to do those things. But it really helps to have this sort of universal, he's not just saving humanity, he's saving his children. He's saving his personal children, and he's there to protect their future. And so then he gets to use all his skills and personality and all that kind of stuff to really try to, make this mission a success. So that's what we can learn, I think, from this movie. It's a great movie. Check it out. There's a lot of other cool stuff in it. It's really well written overall, but just think about that as you're writing your stories or as you're writing your novels, okay? Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye.